I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll start out with any public comment. This meeting's mostly just for opening bids, so any other business, hold off to the last, I guess, public comment. You ain't got it. Okay, we ain't got no public comments. I need a motion to approve the agenda. But we need to add, Nancy needs to add
We'll put the tax roll on there.
7.5,
Yeah,
between 7 and 8.
you should do it after 6, shouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, right.
6.5.
The DPW interviews on there?
DPW interview after that.
Go longer. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second that.
Motion by Patty, second by Sarah to approve the agenda with the additions. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Okay, we'll start out opening bids for the pavilion. This one is from No Mills, $3,126.
I feel like someone should have brought a drone.
I didn't think about that, I'm sorry.
This one here is from Dave Powell, $2,000.
Put them up your head like Johnny Carson does.
This one here is from Dave Miller, $500. This one here is from Arlen Raymer, $800. So, No Mills has got the highest bid. Need a motion
I
accepted?
would make a motion to accept the bid for $3,126 from Noel Mills to remove the pavilion, providing he provides liability insurance. Second.
I have a question. Am I supposed to recruise myself? That is my ex-husband.
No, you're divorced.
Okay.
Didn't
know.
Just checking. Good question.
Motion by Patty, second by Leash to accept No Mills bid for $3,126. When he shows us his liability, guess he can start as soon as possible. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Okay, that brings us down to opening the bids for our park.
Do you want me to do those so I can check them for complete? Because they're supposed to be.
Do you wanna do that,
I can do those first.
first? Okay.
Corporation. It is signed. And bid bond is included. With a bid total of $920,745. Next is Dexco. Bid bonds included. It is signed. With a bid total of $899,500. It's either 70, thank you. $899,570. This is from Dairyland Excavating. It is signed. Bid bond included. Bid total $963,698. I'll check them online. After I log back in. Next is Dan's Excavating Service. And I'll have to check for signature pages. Let's see. Was there? There we go. Okay. I'll have to check for signatures and bid bonds. But Dan's Excavating, total bid, $695,180. $695,180. $1,180. Next is McGurk Sand and Gravel. Bid total, $1,099,799.50. And finally, we have Walton Contracting. $772,987.75. And I'll have to get into the website to make sure that they have their signatures and bid bonds, but, so that's all we got.
You wanna explain the rest, what goes on now, or?
Well, we'll do evaluations of their bids and, go over everything with our contact at the state of Michigan. Since they're the ones that offered the grant, they have to approve everything, and make sure what's been presented in the bid is acceptable to execute the contract. So once we go through that process and get their blessing, then we can award the work. So the next step is to contact our person with the state.
And the lowest, and if they accept the guy that lowest bid, he got it, right, if they accept his,
Generally,
yeah.
that there's evaluations to make sure that they're qualified to do this particular work, and that's what the state has to sign off on.
Okay. So as right now, if everything passes, Dan's
Dan's was lowest.
was the lowest.
Where's he at? Do we know?
Grant,
Oh, okay.
it was near Grant.
Okay, just curious, thank you.
Can we move on to the
Yep.
next? Okay.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Yay. Puts us down, 6.5 tax roll.
Okay, so today I committed the winter tax roll. That is the final process after putting it together, balancing, fine tuning, and everything that goes into putting a winter tax roll together. I, started looking at our numbers for paper, postage, et cetera, envelopes.
Yeah.
And at that point, I also started looking at something that I have looked at for several years, which was KCI, who does a lot of printing of tax rolls. And my 2,402 parcels turn into 2,616 papers that need mailed. Multiple addresses, more than one taxpayer, et cetera, et cetera. So for $1,649.59, they're gonna do 1,957 of them. The remaining 659, I'm going to do 480 electronically, probably a few more because there are some escrow people that have given me their email. So I can email those rather than mail them, and then there's some that will have to just print emails, but Their cost per is 84 cents and mine is $1.30. So I'm saving the tax department about $800, and you could add about 600 more to that if I had to buy a paper folder, which I do. So it destroys more bills than it holds. So I have done this. This is part of what my job is, and it's always been said, if you need this to do your job and you're doing it in the most economical way and financial way, that's how we do it. So that's what I've done. So I hope that doesn't dismay people if I'm saving us some money. And that's all I got.
Okay. Moves us down to DPW.
And I just wanted to have the discussion with that, because right now we've got about 8 applicants, and they've still got another 2 weeks to do that. And originally, at the last meeting, we had said we would have everybody come in and interview at 6. But I just wanted to clarify how the board wanted to move forward, that you want everybody to come at the same time. How are we gonna have them all in here at one time, interview everybody at once? We want them scheduled every 10 minutes. We want to have a couple people review them and just interview a select few. I didn't know what to tell people when we got about their applications.
Well, I actually chatting with Kevin at the sewer department. He said, Sarah, that's exactly that I was hired. It was the whole board, it was a special meeting, and we all had 15 or 20 minutes allotted to us.
How many were there?
He said there were like 30 when he applied. There were a ton.
But when we interviewed, it was down to like 3 or 5, I
Yeah,
think.
they
I'll
did
look
it now.
into that.
I saw that today, the minutes of that, and there were like 5 people that were interviewed at that special meeting.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't matter, I just, obviously an hour's not gonna do it
I'm
then.
not gonna
Right.
do it. And
What do you,
Go ahead, Greg.
what do you think if we just, the board goes over all the applications and we narrow it down to about 3? And then interview those 3 or whatever?
Well, if we're looking at an hour, I think we could do double that, 10 minutes each
That's what I was
person.
thinking. And I would recommend start them at 6, 6:10, 6:20, 6:30. and
Just do all
6.
8 of them then, or
Well,
whatever we
I
got?
would do the top 6. I would agree that maybe we should, as a board, sit down and review them and pick the top 6 candidates, and that's who we do the interviewing. And do them every 10 minutes. That's just my thought on that.
And have people sit down
Have them sit out and wait.
and wait.
Things in my office if they need to.
Yeah.
I'll bring up some chairs and that'll work.
I mean, I can stop over after work. I know they're due next Friday. I
The
can
8th, right before the
8th.
meeting.
So I could come over after work that Friday and at least review some of them. And then I figured if we all look at them, we can all, I mean, that just makes sense to me, is
Right.
let's get 6 of them. Let's review the top 6.
Yeah. If something changes and they're all really good, I guess we'll have to go from there.
That's right.
Before we finish, well, let's finish that one, then I want to say something concerning the DPW, if that's okay.
So do you want me to copy everybody on the 8th at 5 o'clock, all the applications, and then you guys come back, each person comes back with the top 6? I'm not sure how you pick the top 6, is what I'm so confused.
We'd have to look over their qualifications. And the thing of it, this is what's tricky, we don't have a good job description to give them, and this is really how you do an application, is if you've at least got a job description. You know, we can do some guessing, by their background, what they've done before, but let's look at them and see. I guess
Well,
that-
and something that might help, go through the list of current applications that we have, since Mike at the fire department can run background checks for free. Let's make that step 1, so that's just handled, and if people don't pass that background check, they're out of our pile.
So have Mike do that on the 8th, after I get all the applications. Have him run the background checks.
Yep.
Best case scenario, we only have 6 people
I
to
think,
pass.
we better check that out. I don't know if legally we can run background checks on people. without,
A job offer?
yeah, I'm not positive, I think we better check it out just for libel.
Applicants can.
Can
Yeah,
they?
they run them all the
Yeah,
time.
I'd say,
Okay.
mine was ran before I got offered
That's-
the other thing.
Was it?
Is that
Okay.
just 1 week before our next meeting?
Yeah, see, we had to do Friday before the meeting, and then the meeting is Wednesday.
Okay, well, do you wanna get with Mike and make sure we're giving him
Yeah.
enough time to get that done?
Yeah, can we do background checks as they come in? As the applications come in,
That's a good
instead of
idea.
waiting until all of them doing all of
Good
them
thought.
Friday?
Yeah, okay, all right. That
But
sounds
then
good.
is that a board decision being made about the top 6 not being at a public meeting? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a board decision. She picks her 6, I pick my 6, everybody picks her 6. But then we bring them together, and if they're different, you know, doesn't that need to be an open meeting?
Yeah, you got a point.
Yep, didn't even think about that.
Kurt, as far as background checks, I think there's someplace on the application in there where they would allow you, they'd sign that to allow you to run a background check on it.
I don't think ours
Ours
has got
doesn't,
that on
that's a
there.
good thing.
I
Probably
know
not.
I've seen those before.
Or-
I've seen that before, yeah.
When we posted it, did it say must be able to pass a background check? No, that
No.
wasn't in there. I know we talked about that.
Well, and as the employer, like, that is kind of pretty standard procedure
It is.
wherever you're gonna go.
You kinda need that in print though, when you go
Right.
to do a background check, you have to put that out there on your posting. That you're gonna do a background check,
That might be-
Before they give you the application.
yes.
Well, there's
Some places
a
charge you $50 to do a background check, and they'll give it to you
Somebody wants to.
if you don't pass back. Most people just walk away, they're gonna background check you, hell, felon on whatever.
Okay, let's, stay focused. Thank you though,
Okay,
Mike.
we'll check that out, I guess.
Okay, Pat, are you good with what
No,
you
I'm
need?
not.
I didn't think so. What do you got? Nothing.
I think, what if we lengthened our special meeting and started it before, started it before 6, start at 5:30 if we've got 8,
Okay.
and just interview everybody, yeah.
So,
But
and
I would
that,
like
and
to
that
look
would
at
be
them
all right.
ahead of
Oh,
time,
yeah,
otherwise
me
we're
too.
gonna spend our whole time.
And that would be okay, because Friday at 5, I'll have all the applications, I'll know how many I'm gonna have, so that I can schedule the special meeting to start. If we have so many that we need to start at 4, we'll schedule it for 4.
Okay,
What time you gotta work?
And Roger's got a point. Public employers in Michigan cannot ask about an applicant's criminal history until the initial interview has been conducted or a conditional offer is made.
Okay, so that'll be done.
So we
later.
gotta
So
do
we
this
good
way,
then.
round 1.
Okay. We'll do background check later.
Thanks, John.
Okay, all right, so we'll decide what time the special meeting starts based on the number of applicants.
Correct.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So this is, going a little bit deeper here, but Sarah has spent 3 weeks to a month out working, picking up leaves, and she needs to be paid for that. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. We've paid people before to help pick up leaves. Pat, you took over for Roger sometimes. I don't know if you paid yourself or not when he broke his arm. So I would, make a motion that Sarah be paid for doing that, and probably at the rate of pay that, Mitch was making.
I'll second
I very much appreciate that, you guys, but that was not the
And I
point
know
of that
that-
whatsoever.
That was, I know that was not, but you were out there doing a job and you stepped up, so you should be paid for it. And that's been my feeling from the beginning. So I'd like to make a motion that we pay Sarah.
And I second it.
And how many hours, or is she gonna let me know?
I'll get you a calendar.
Motion by Nancy, second by Leash to pay Sarah for her hours for helping suck up leaves at 18 and not forward. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Okay, that puts us down to public comment.
about having the applicants for the position audition, like spend a day moving leaves as part of their application process.
I don't think you can you do that? Without
Insurance.
paying? Yeah, it's a great idea.
Good
You
idea,
want them to
Barb.
run away, don't you?
I want those leaves gone.
Roger?
I'd just like to tell everybody in the township that we've got our ditch started out there on the Schinneberger Drain for our 20-year program. And watch out coming out that way, because there's a lot of big equipment going on Blackmer Road, beyond Mount Hope Road and Sydney Road here soon. So your tax dollars are hard at work.
John?
Nancy, the figures that you threw out, did that include deputy treasurer hours?
Yeah, I did not even put that in there yet.
So you're saving the township even more than not using.
If I
the
had
deputy.
that done, that is very correct, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
My hours don't count.
Yeah. That's why I asked about the
But
deputy.
yes, you're right, yes, that would be even more than that.
Anybody else? Stan?
I would just like to state that hauling dirt 4 miles from the site here at the Township Park is gonna cost the township approximately $40,000. And I would suggest that possibly anybody that wanted a large amount of dirt here, closer to the park, should pay something per yard for it. The trucking is 10,000 yards on a 10-yard truck is 1,000 truckloads. 1,000 truckloads, 4 miles back and forth is 8 miles times 10,000, or times 1,000, it's gonna be like 70,000 miles of driving just to haul the dirt out there. So it'd be nice if you had somewhere closer to leave it. And I'm not doing this because of my place. I don't care if it's over by the grocery store, but you better find somewhere closer to haul it, because it's gonna be a $50,000 difference no matter how you do this.
But the bids are already in now,
Well,
and baked in.
If then somebody's gonna complain about all the dirt for being there months till somebody hauls away. It could be down by the beach, sitting out there in that lowland.
I'm just saying, somewhere closer to the actual site would be
Okay.
better than hauling it out to the.
To the racetrack.
I agree.
Anybody else?
Thank you for all the work done on this.
Patty did a lot. Patty did definitely, and a lot, and
Anybody
the
else?
Park committee.
A motion adjourned?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Nancy,
Second.
second by Lisa.
Told you guys.
Adjourn at 7:20. Thank you all for coming.